grade, we had a small telescope that had been sitting in our basement for as long as I could remember. And so one night, my mom brought the telescope out onto the deck in the backyard, and we pointed it at the moon. And so I looked through the telescope, and I looked at the moon, and I was blown away, because when you look through this little telescope, you could see there were mountains, and there were craters, and for the first time, I realized, like, the moon is a place. And so that was one of the most defining moments, I think, when I was growing up, where I thought, wow, so there are other worlds out there that we could explore. My name is Jennifer Heldmann. I am a planetary scientist, and I work here at NASA. When I graduated high school, I knew that I wanted to go to college to study something about space, but I didn't know what. And I didn't know if I wanted to be an astronomer, or study planets, or study galaxies, or be an engineer and design spacecraft. I knew I wanted to do something in space, but I didn't know exactly what, which I think is okay, because in the end, then I got to try out all different things and see what I liked and see what I didn't like. I think the key is to do a lot of internships and take the summer times as an opportunity to go and spend 10 weeks working at different places to try and figure out what you like, what you not like. I like the fact that by working for NASA, I'm actually contributing to the greater good. We're learning about our universe, we're learning about our place in the universe. How do we fit in? How did we even get here? You realize that for the first time as a society, we have the ability to answer these questions scientifically. Just by being able to make people's lives better, I think that's worthwhile, and I think trying to understand how we fit into this whole picture of this complicated, crazy universe, I think that's interesting as well. One of the fun things that I like about my job is doing field work. We go to the Canadian High Arctic, and there's polar bears there. There are not polar bears on Mars, so you don't have to worry about it there, but you do have to worry about it in Canada. You have to bring a polar bear gun, and somebody's always on the lookout for polar bears. And I learned something about myself, is that I cannot shoot a gun very well, so I am not the best person to take if you need protection from wild animals. So I learned that about myself. I like combining, the intellectual, scientific research part, and then the physical, adventurous, out in the wilderness part. And so that's one of the things I like about my job, is I can mix the two. If you have an interest in space or math or science, and even if your friends don't, that's okay. Because what I'm realizing now is ultimately, you have to end up doing something that you like to do. It's not always going to be fun. There's going to be late nights, and you have to work hard. And people will tell you you can't, but just prove them wrong. That was always something that made me work even harder. So somebody said I couldn't do it. I said, well, I'll show you. And then I'd go and work twice as hard and get it done. Just take the opportunities as they come and make your own opportunities.